Right, I'm playing some NL50 on RAY, which is the Finnish poker site. And I guess I open ace-10 here, and I decide to check this flop, mostly going for 2 streets to value here. Okay, these are both weaker players, so maybe I would have liked to see myself see a bit here, but I just started the video, so I'm a little bit distracted there. Yeah, definitely calling turn. I don't think there's any point in raising here. This guy opens 5x on the button. That's kind of... maybe I should make a note. Okay. Here I flatted with ace-king when this guy opened under the gun. And I decide to bet here. And yeah, I think I have to value bet this river. I think this is a very clear value bet. I think that's about okay. Yeah, definitely gonna bet turn here again. He check calls, so we get to this. I don't think he ever has a flush, so I'm not really worried about the flush. But I think he is a little worried about the flush, so I don't want to go too big here. I think about half pot is good. I don't think he ever has it. So he check calls once, check calls twice, and then we get to this river. I definitely think there's value here, because this is a spot where I want to be bluffing, because it's a spot where his range is fairly capped. I think going half pot is okay. I think I want to go a little bit bigger, maybe 1350-ish seems about okay. And he folds, but this is just a spot where, you know, it's a great spot to barrel when he starts. You know, he raised pre and then check call. He's just very capped. It's just very obvious too. At the same time, you know, it's possible that he thinks, you know, I'm obviously weak, so I have to bluff catch. But I don't know on what level this guy really is on. This is, you know, this is anonymous tables, so I don't really have a lot of information on these players. Plus, I just started playing on this site. I mean, not on this site, but on this level. I've been playing NL20 a lot here, and now I just decided to try some NL50 here. And yeah, just trying this out, seeing how it goes. And yeah, if I get some interesting footage here, I think I might do like a video where I analyze some of my play, but I don't think I can do that right now because I don't really know these stakes all that well. So for now, I'm just doing a live video. I'm just gonna be talking through about what I'm thinking about, and you know, hopefully there'll be some interesting stuff. And yeah, I think I'm betting this flop. I mean, sometimes I like to check back top set, obviously, because, you know, you block. But on this texture, it's just very obvious that we need to bet, you know. I just think it's very obvious because, you know, there's tons of draws, obviously. On this turn, I obviously want to keep his draws around. Just want to, you know, I don't know if he's worried about the board pairing, if he's still going to call his flush draws even if I go bigger. I think I'm going to go half pot here. And he folds. I think this is an okay spot to squeeze. I'm gonna squeeze here and make it like 5, because I think, you know, this guy weak, obviously, you know, weaker player there in the small blind calls. Then again, this is also a spot where it's kind of obvious I can squeeze a lot, so he could potentially 4-bet a lot here. But I don't know how good he is or what level he thinks on, so, and he's an unknown, so I don't really know, but I think it's okay in a vacuum. Just, you know, go ahead and squeeze here. And I do flop kind of good here. And I think I want to bet really small-ish here to hope to induce. Though these guys are mostly passive, and I don't think he's going to be, you know... I think I also want to protect my hand a little bit here by betting. But I just don't expect him to spew too much. But I want to give him a chance to, you know, spaz off here. So I don't want to bet half pot. I think that's kind of too much, because I can get his stack anyway later. So I think I want to go really smallish here. I think if I go 350, that sets up stacks for the turn pretty well. I think maybe a little bit, I don't know. I think, yeah, I think I can go 380 here. I'm definitely see betting here and fold, and I'm just going to fold here. Yeah, I think I want to go small here and snap, obviously. I'm just going to fold. This guy's been kind of passive. And yeah, hoping to get, you know, another table here. I'm obviously gonna get this in now, even though I'm not super happy because his timing was kind of weird. So his timing is, kind of indicates that he has something, but I guess he had nothing, or kind of nothing. Usually when people tank like that a lot and then raise, it's like usually indication of strength from a weaker player, but here I was obviously, just made up my mind already, so it's not like I'm ever folding with that stack to pot ratio in that spot with that hand. I think, yeah, if I had the ace of diamonds, I would potentially call here. I think even then, I think raising small is okay, because he just doesn't rep a whole lot with his line. And I get the check back turn, unless he shoves here, Get the check back turn and realize my 6 outs. And yeah, I think this is a mandatory. I think I can call here for 3-bet. I think this hand is, yeah, I think I'm going to 3-bet here. I'm just going to fold here, and just going to fold here, and fold here, yeah. So I'm hoping to get 6 tables, but, on this side it's kind of difficult, because we don't have, like, a whole lot of players here, so. I'm trying to get a seat on this table here. For now, just, I think I'm just give up here with no equity. I mean, I'm going to be barreling here with all kinds of backdoor diamonds and all kinds of hands, but just not this one. I just don't think I need to see a bet here. I think it's important, not to go overboard with just this naked aggression, just going bam, 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 all the time with no equity. I just think you need to, sometimes you need to pure bluff because you just don't have all that many equity hands in your range. But I think it's just not necessary to go all too crazy with no equity. And when he calls flop, he has like spades, lower pairs, ace and 10, I guess. I guess I could double barrel here. I think it's okay to double barrel because his spades don't really like it and his lower pairs don't like it, so. And yeah, I think it's a cool spot to double barrel. I'm just trying to do this now where I'm thinking through my opponent's range while I'm playing. Just trying to think about his range every single time before I make a decision, just out loud, analyze his range and just think, what is he calling with, what is he folding with, I have to do more of that because my instinct there would have been just to give up. And I guess, I just need to start thinking a little bit clearer. Now that I'm playing it on a new level, just I can't really just autopilot now because it's a new game for me. It's completely unknown. I think I'll just check back. I don't know. This is the kind of spot. Okay, against a weaker player, I'm comfortable checking back here, but against a better player, I prefer c-betting because it just kind of turns my hand face up as a pair lower than an ace. Very often my hands kind of exactly face up against a better player if I check back here. Now I'm obviously value betting turn here. There's, flush draws, 10, everything, And on this river, it's just a very easy check back, and if he leads, I fold, very simple. Obviously, yeah. And I think, yeah, he flatted, he limp call with the kings pre, so I'm gonna make a note of that. Yeah, so I expect him to play very, very passively. These notes are obviously not that useful because they don't transition from one session to another because it's anonymous tables. But still, I think it's important to take these notes and, just pay attention a lot because on anonymous tables, you're just not going to get reads a lot. It's going to be tough. But yeah, I mean, I developed my game mostly on NL20, so I'm like a micro stakes player. And now I just moved up to NL50 and just trying this game today. And so I guess I'm just trying to play a little bit more balanced, I suppose. I'm just trying not to get too much out of line, even though I will be putting in some 4-bet bluffs and stuff like that, which I think is kind of necessary here because people will be 3-betting you quite a lot. And you can't be folding all the time. But I will try to, not to bet size, not to have these very obvious bet sizing tells that I have on lower stakes, where I'm just exploiting the villains by just betting small with my bluffs and bigger with my value hands. I'm gonna try to balance a little bit more here, even though there's still a lot of weak players here. But I just don't know if how observant my opponents are at this stake, and I'm just gonna give them a little bit of credit for being a little bit more observant than they are at NL20. So there's that. Yeah, that was just my Facebook there. Hopefully I can make some interesting videos in the future. Don't think this one will be too great because this is really my first time doing a live video. But I'm hoping, to be able to make some cool videos where I'm gonna have some footage of me playing, and then I'm gonna be able to analyze that and just do like a video review where I'm just I have this. Guess I'll have like a video file, and then I'll have that on my just a media player. I'm just gonna play that file, and then I'm gonna record that as I play that file and talk. I guess that's how it works. To make a video in which I will be analyzing my own play. And I can, pause it and then just talk through a hand and my thought process basically, and what I thought was good or bad about my own play. I would say about myself that I guess I'm a very critical player, so I think I'm highly critical of the way I play, and I'm always looking for ways to improve my game. So yeah, I would definitely be interested in some feedback and some comments and stuff. And yeah, I'm just, I think this will be helpful, and I think this will help me improve my game as well. Just talking through these spots, and it's gonna make it easier. Yeah, I think this is still an ISO. I think the problem is he is gonna be, he's gonna be doing that a lot. So I think I'm gonna 4-bet fold here now against him, because I think he knows that I ISO wide here in this spot. And I'm gonna make it something like I can go as high as 17-ish here, because that still leaves room for a fold. He calls, and now a weird spot. I think I have to see a bet here, obviously, and I'm gonna go kind of smallish here, maybe 1350-ish. And he calls, and yeah, I guess you can just jam here. I 4-bet pre, and then I don't know. I think I'm just gonna check fold. I don't know if I really expect him to just go nuts here for no reason. Yeah, split pot. That's really lucky for me on the river. That's really lucky. But I think on the river, when the 7 comes, I think I'm expecting some splits there, a decent amount. Expecting some splits. Yeah. That's kind of crazy, yeah. I don't know, I just don't, if he's reasonable at all, he's just not calling my 4-bet all that wide, and I'm not even sure I like my c-bet. I think I might just check fold flop, because if he's any decent, he shouldn't be calling my 4-bet really with, a whole lot of shit. But then again, you never know about these guys. You just never know. They can be just like totally randomly calling your 4-bet with some random, suited crap, and just hoping to pick up a draw or pick up some equity, or and then they're just gonna fold because you 4-bet pre and c-bet, so you rep kings, aces, queens, basically. I don't know. It's like, I guess it's okay. But I think check folding flop is definitely fine as well. I think the main point of 4-betting there is just to get him to fold his bluffs pre. This is interesting. This guy opens to, we have all this dead money here, this dead money right here and dead money here. I just don't know if he's calling with all that many worse hands if I 3-bet here, but I still feel like I can 3-bet. I'm just gonna 3-bet. I'm just hoping he calls here. If he 4-bets, it obviously sucks. That's great for us. I mean, when the small blind calls here cold, it's really good because that bluff locks the pot. Obviously, it gives up value because he's very likely a weaker player with a weak hand there. but it also locks the pot up for bluffs. He can't really bluff after that, you know, because this guy obviously has something, and this is just a very, very easy fold for us now. We're very happy with the way this hand played out here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna see bet here. I see bet most of my range in this spot. Yeah, I just prefer to see bet than just, you know, check turn or just, you know, barrel. Or I prefer the flexibility that a c bet gives me. I think I'm just gonna fold. This guy open 9x, this guy calls, you know. I don't really think this is such a great spot for us. I mean, he might just be spazzing here, just, you know, because of the last. Did he even lose in the last hand? Yeah, I guess he lost the last hand, so I guess he might be random spazzing, but I just don't like the spot in general when he opens like 9x. I think we have to call here. I think I'm pretty happy calling with the weaker player in the big blind. I'm not too worried about getting squeezed here. Normally, this is a spot where if, you know, there's a good player in the big blind, you just want to 3-bet or fold your entire range from the small blind. Yeah, basically, because you're just gonna be in a terrible spot if you get squeezed, and then you call the squeeze, and you're just gonna have an obviously capped range, and it's gonna be, you know, face up capped and out of position. That's just not a good combination, to be capped and out of position. Yeah, definitely calling flop. Don't ever see me doing anything else here, and it's just a fold. How did this hand? I think, yeah. He called, just leads for pot into 6, deuce 6. I don't expect him to have all that much there, but at the same time, there's really no reason to go crazy with no equity there. I'm gonna have so many better hands to defend there with. Yeah, check calls flop. I think I have to. Yeah, this is kind of bad. No, I think he's still barreling any naked club here. I think I could potentially check call river here. I think queen 10 missed, ace queen missed, random clubs missed. So I'm actually, yeah, he checked back with 10-9. Okay, he's even barreling that. He didn't. Okay, he got 10-9 with the club. Okay, but I think I was check calling river because I think there's just a lot of. I think he's more likely to bluff in that spot than if it had been like two-tone. If it's like just the clubs and the two clubs and there's no third club. I think with the third club, he's more likely to 3-barrel because he thinks he can rep a flush credibly, versus if the flush doesn't come in, if it's like just two-tone, then I don't think he's gonna bluff as often. So I actually, in that spot, I'm pretty comfortable calling 3 barrels because I expect him to barrel a lot of, you know, backdoor, basically single club hands on the turn. If he had like the ace of clubs, I think expect him to barrel it. I expect him to barrel queen 10, ace queen, queen 9 potentially, and I guess some of the straight draws got there, some of the lower straight draws, but I still expect him to. This is kind of an aggressive player, so I would be pretty happy calling river there. And I think it's even, you know, in terms of balance, I think we have to call this hand sometimes because it's actually a pretty good chunk of our range. Yeah, there's some expressions I'm borrowing from Galfond pretty obviously. I'm just a big fan of Galfond. I think he's a fantastic teacher, and just he's just like one of the best overall in terms of theory. I just think he's fantastic. I think we have to watch out here because this guy might be going on tilt, assuming he continues playing. I think there could be some juicy value here if he keeps playing. Yeah, he does. So yeah, if you guys notice me, you know, using some kind of the same kind of expressions that Phil Galfond uses, so that's the reason. I watch a bunch of those Galfond videos, and he's kind of my inspiration in poker. Yeah, and I try to sometimes, you know, use his concepts, the stuff that I learn from him, you know, hopefully applying it correctly, and I guess, you know, I'm playing NL50 and he plays like way higher, so sometimes I feel like I might overthink some spots. But I think I would just want to have this, you know, a good general understanding of the game, and just, you know, to know where I'm at in terms of like my range and my opponent's, you know, range, and because I think that allows me to progress further, and that'll allow me to, you know, dynamically adjust as the games are adjusting and the games are developing, and, you know, if I want to move up a little bit. Yeah, I think I can still see a bet here because I have a pretty strong range in this spot when I raise in the small blind. I just don't raise all that often in that spot. I think I'm pretty comfortable bet folding here because I have a pretty strong range here. I'm very happy here. Here I'm just definitely gonna 3-bet with this min open here. I expect it to be a weaker player and I expect to get a lot of value. And this guy opens, this guy calls. I think this is kind of marginal. I think you could call here. I don't know. If I had like a low suited ace, I would call for sure, but not in this, not with this particular hand. Nice, we got someone spewing here. I think this is a c-bet. It's a fairly dry board, even with the flush draw out there. I think I can even go a little bit smaller. I think I'm just going half pot here. Yeah, probably c-betting here as well. Very dry board, obviously. You know, the cool thing about a two-tone board is that it's not obviously dry. So this is a cool concept I learned from Phil Galfond, is that there are these boards which are, you know, they appear to have, you know, some kind of draw to them. So your opponent gives you more credit. I think I have to get this in with this, you know, just these stakes. I just have to get this in. There's just no choice. I'm not super happy about it, but I don't really have a choice. I think turn would be a pretty cool card to barrel on, except I time out. Yeah, I just have to get this in. Just, yeah, I guess I'm gonna flip. Okay. And yeah, now I'm definitely value betting river here, just making the 5. Please no queen, no heart. Oh yes. Now it's important to win these now because, you know, it's a new stake for me. So it wouldn't really hurt me too much if I lose here. It's like whatever. Yeah, I don't think I really have a choice but to get it in there now. Obviously, and I think in these games you have a little bit more, you know, aggressive 3-betting, 4-betting dynamics. At NL20 you just don't have that. So at NL20 you can make some sick folds. You know, you can basically value 4-bet a guy and then fold to his 5-bet because he's gonna call your 4-bet so often with worse hands, but he's just not gonna 5-bet unless he has really a nutty hand. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I think I had some thought there that I lost, some kind of thought, but I think, yeah, I'll come up with some other interesting thoughts, hopefully. Min lead and call. I think I'm definitely raising, absolutely raising here, no question about it. This is not like even a bet. This is just like a check, basically. You know. And yeah, we just have tons of like whatever. You know, there's no point in talking about it. Yeah. ASDF opens. He's like a very solid player. I think this is definitely a flat. This is never a 3-bet, you know, obviously. This is a very easy 3-bet. I think 350 or 325. I think 325 is actually pretty good sizing. Against the min open. This is a very easy call here to set mine, and ASDF is gonna see a bet. The problem with this board is once I call, I just have a ton of a6. But if I raise, I don't really expect him to go too crazy. Plus the problem, he still has ace king, ace queen. If I raise and he calls, you know, it's like now it sucks, you know, because this is a spot where I just think I just fold river. I don't think I can value bet here. I don't think I have too many floats in my range here. Yeah, in my perceived range in that spot. I mean, I could potentially be like, I would turn stuff into a bluff there, obviously, because I don't think I can value bet, so I think I have to bluff in that spot. Oh, he bets here. I think I'm calling for sure. Yeah, I think against these kind of players in this spot, I think it's very good idea to bluff in that on that river. With like a pair that you turn into a bluff, because you just don't have all that many air hands in your perceived range, so it's very good. I think this is just a fold. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I have some better hands that I can call here. I have some 10s and I have some, you know. I think I'll just get this in. I don't know. Okay, well I guess on the turn I'm just gonna fold. That's just like the worst turn in the deck for me. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to fold now. Um, on this turn, I think I could check back. I think I'll check back and value bet a good river if he checks to me and call if he bets. Now when he bets pot, I think I'm just gonna fold. I don't see him have too many bluffs. I don't see how he value bets this size with a worse hand. I just don't see that happening a lot. So it was a 3-bet pot, and he check calls this flop and check check, and then leads pot on this river. I think he has like Jack 9, Ace Jack, like I guess King Queen, King 10, Queen 10. I think he has a lot of 2 pairs there in his range. I just don't think he's bluffing that size. I don't think it makes sense because my hand looks like give up. You know, it looks fairly weak when I check back turn there. So there's just no reason to go that big on a bluff. I don't know, it's as a vacuum, you know, I just think this is always a fold in the river. Pretty happy with it too. Yeah, with the 10 on the turn, it coordinates the board so much that he definitely has Ace Jack here. He's definitely not folding flop. He's just check calling with that. Jack 9. He's definitely calling. If he thinks he's a donk, you know, he's calling fairly wide. I expect him to have Jack 9 suited there as well. I expect him to have, you know, all kinds of straights there. So I'm pretty happy with my fold in the river. Even though it's kind of the top of my range, I don't think we need to worry about that too much against these weaker players. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting later on in this, as I play this, you know, this stake. It's gonna be interesting to know if, you know, the better regs on this stake are capable of realizing, you know, when your range is capped. If they're gonna analyze, you know, okay, they're gonna, you know, see that your range is capped, and they're just gonna. I think this sizing is kind of ridiculous by him. I think he should make it like 3.5, not 4.5. I think his sizing is just stupid. I think I can. I don't know. I'm just gonna 4-bet because it's a video, I guess. Whatever. But, you know, I have an okay hand for that, obviously, and he just doesn't have, you know, these guys are just 3-betting in the spot with bluffs enough of the time. Even though his sizing is really stupid, I just think, you know, it's gonna be okay for me to play post flop. I'm gonna bet like 8.5 or even just like, I think 7.5 does the same job. Yeah, I think I could go even smaller here. I just have a pretty strong perceived range here. Definitely betting this river. I think he has a queen a lot. I think I'm targeting that. I think I'll go like 13-ish on the river. Yeah, he shoves, and I obviously can't do anything. I'm gonna have better hands here that can call. It's, I guess, you know, it's kind of important to start, you know, maybe, I guess I have to start 4-betting some merged hands against some of these players, because they're gonna be calling 4-bets a lot, and then I'm gonna get into those spots where I don't really have a whole lot of hand. I think, you know, this could be a spot to set mine. I think I just have to call this. I don't know. I don't know. Just okay. I think I said that's nice. Obviously not raising flop. I think I just call here. This is very clear that I just have to call, and just on turns like sucks obviously. But I'm just gonna jam. I think I'm just gonna jam on the turn because I don't want to rep a draw here. And yeah, he has queens. He checked the turn. I think his play is pretty cool. This is actually a cool play that he did here on the turn, because this is a play that I will make a lot against a lot of these, because on this side there's a lot of these aggressive players that are just, you know, button clicking for no reason. They're just gonna bet if you show weakness. If you 3-bet out of position and then c-bet the flop and then check the turn, there's a ton of players here who are just gonna bet their entire range in that spot. So it just makes a lot of sense to check over pairs there. And even against me in that spot, I don't know. I think his play is fine. I think it's okay. I guess if I had, you know, I guess I'm gonna level him, you know, in this spot. So if I had a draw and I wanted to bluff a draw, I would have bet something like 2/3 spot, you know, and and then when I have a set, I'm just gonna jam, because, you know, I expect him to think that an all-in is gonna look like a draw, and if I go to 2/3 spot, it's gonna look like a made hand. So maybe I would level there. I don't know, but I guess I should start betting a little bit more balanced here instead of just going into these sick leveling wars all the time, because they just, you know, make my head spin and just make my head hurt. Because in that spot I'm gonna have to think, you know, does he realize that when I bet, you know, all in, that it's actually a strong hand because I'm trying to make it look like a draw, or, you know. So instead of having to play this endless leveling games with regs, I think it's better to just have like an overall balanced strategy. I think I should go river slightly. Maybe. I think this is okay. That's an okay bet size. So yeah, I think it's better overall to be a little bit more balanced in your sizings instead of just playing these crazy leveling wars and game flow wars where you're just constantly concerning yourself with. I think this is near enough the bottom of my range that I can fold, though I could potentially raise here actually. I think raising. I have the. Okay, this is kind of sick. I mean, I have the straight blocker, so I think I can raise here. I mean, I see bet flop and then I raise turn. I just rep the straight and I rep sets. I guess I rep everything, you know. I rep all the nut hands and he folds. You know, this is cool. This is a cool play. Because I just think, you know, I can rep all the nuts here on this spot. I don't know what his leading range is. I have really no idea. I think I have to. I don't know. This is ugly. I'm just gonna fold. I don't really know what happened. I'm just not paying attention, you know. What happened in this hand? I raise pre, don't check, he bets. Oh, okay, this is terrible. Okay, I should absolutely call this turn and maybe call river as well. But yeah, this was just horrible by me. Oh well. But that happens sometimes when I'm focusing on like another hand and then, you know, I misplay a hand because, you know, my brain power is kind of elsewhere. So plus with the talking, so the talking also slightly affects my play. But yeah, that was a really cool play there. I was pretty happy with that. Worked out nicely. Plus, I don't think, even if it didn't work out, I think it's fine because I would probably raise with my sets and straights there. So it's okay to raise some hands as bluffs, and I have some blocker there, you know. Some straight blockers there. Or like the ace to block the straight mostly. I think I have to bet here. I think, yeah, this is just a fold. This is an open. And he calls. I'm just gonna barrel here. I would barrel here with all of my, you know, overs, a lot of overs, ace jack, ace queen, queen jack, spades, all kinds of hands I'm barreling here. I raise pre here and barrel. Yeah, I'm just gonna barrel a ton here. I think this is just a bet in terms of balance. I just don't think this is a great hand to check back and induce something with, because it's too strong for that, really. I think it's better to do that with some hands that, you know, I would check back and snap river with. There are those hands. I think those would be hands like ace 10, queen 10, stuff like that. But I have to sometimes bet those too. Depends on what he expects. You know, this is one of those leveling spots again where, you know, it's like, depends on if he expects me to barrel a lot here or be on, like, if he expects me to be barreling right now, or if he expects me to be, you know, valuing, you know, stuff, you know, just those game flow things. Yeah. I don't think I need to have too many good hands. Like, I don't think I really need to have any nut hands in my turn check back range in that spot, because unless he starts overbet leading the river, if he starts overbet leading on the river when it goes like that, or if he starts, you know, check raising on the river a lot because he thinks, you know, once I check back turn I'm capped, you know, and then he's gonna check call, check, and then check raise river. If he starts doing that, then I need to strengthen my turn check back range. So then he's gonna perceive my turn check back as give up / medium, and then when I bet river, he's gonna see that I'm capped, and, you know. So those would be the circumstances under which it would be correct to. I think leading is okay. I think checking is also okay. If I led, I guess, I don't know. Yeah. I think I just call here. I'm gonna stack a 5 on most turns. I guess there are some turns on which I wouldn't stack a 5 on. But I think, yeah, that's not a great turn for me. Unless they have like 6-7, which is a decent chunk of their range, but, you know, I think I just call turn, obviously. I don't have any choice here. I think raising is terrible. Because obviously you want to maximize the chance of him being in the pot. Now I'm just gonna put the rest in, because he has nothing behind. And yeah, he reversed the top boat. Coolers me. Kind of a 6 spot. Oh well. Yeah, it was only for like 75 big blinds, but you know, lol. Nice river. Whatever. Yeah. Obviously, it's very important not to be results oriented, but I guess you all know that already. Anyone who watches these kind of videos, you know, is the kind of player who thinks in terms of expected value mostly. And I think that hand was pretty standard there with the boat on the flop. I don't think raising is really all that good. Yeah, because I mean, if there were some dynamics where people expect me to be bluff raising there a lot, I think this is a cool spot to potentially raise turn. No, I'm just gonna fold. I'm really capped here, obviously, when I check back. I think I'm just gonna fold here. Pretty happy about it too. Out of position, king queen offsuit, not good. Yeah, this is just a fold. Yeah. Yeah, this is the kind of spot where, you know, people choose between check back or bet, and you know, I think I prefer betting these spots, even though there's not too many worse hands to call, because if you check back, it turns your hand face up. But I guess check back is okay too, you know. I guess you can balance your check back range and occasionally check back something stronger. But you don't have air when you check back. I guess you can check back air too. I guess. I don't know. I don't know. This c-bet might be pretty bad actually. On this board texture, there's just not many worse hands that are calling. And all the worse hands that call are just gonna mostly end up bluffing me out of the pot. Anyway, you know. So. Yeah. I'm gonna have to quit this one. I don't really feel like playing heads up. Yeah, this spot kind of sucks. I think I'm just gonna, I don't know. This is just a board where he expects me. I think I have to see bet this hand. I don't like my check fold. I think check folding there is it's an okay game plan, because it's a spot where people expect you to just see bet like crazy, and they're just gonna float a lot. But I think ace queen is still a hand that I should see bet and then just go ahead and barrel and check fold some weaker hands, because I'm gonna have plenty of weaker hands there too that are gonna wanna check fold. So I think I wanna still bet that part of my range. And here we get paid off by king 6. Okay. So flop goes check check and we go bet bet. Okay, pretty standard. He'll limp call with king 6. So yeah, just typical weak player. And yeah, obviously not folding here. I think I'm just gonna call. I sometimes have the best hand. Pick up some cards. Very easy. Just, you know, I'm just gonna check back now and win, I guess. And he has king 9. Okay. I'm gonna look for another table, I guess. Hopefully there's some more of these. There's this guy, but that's heads up again, so I guess I could wait here to see if another player joins the table, and potentially, you know, meanwhile just play five tables. So yeah, I guess these, you know, live videos tend to get a little bit rambly because there's just not a lot to talk about all the time. And so to fill the the empty time, I guess, or how do you say this, the dead air, you gotta talk about something, you know, to keep it a little interesting. And this would be really cool, you know, to have the ability to take like questions from people and just, you know, talk about them while you're playing, and have that in the video as well. That would be kind of fun. This is just a very easy c-bet here, you know, obviously. Driest of all dry boards. Yeah. Well, this one guy on 2+2 had this mumble server going on. I'm obviously not gonna talk to him right now because, you know, that would spoil the video. But I'm just gonna take a look, see if he's around. But I think he's like from the Eastern Standard Time zone, and that's just, you know, a time zone that's very far away from where I'm at. So I'm gonna see if he's around. No one around. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's really the problem with the site. That just you know, very few people playing here. I guess I could, you know, put in some heads up action against this guy. It's probably solid and good and everything. I'm just gonna, you know, I just run terribly in heads up in general. I really want to set mine here. We're a little bit deeper. I think his range is kind of strong. I don't know if this is profitable or not. I think I'm kind of questionable. And yeah, this is just kind of bad. Now I just have to fold my, you know, and it's just not good. This is just not a good spot. His range is just too strong. It's, you know, I don't think I can really, you know, start calling here and having no equity on the turn and having like no hands I can continue with, and basically just dead here. Really unfortunate though. I don't know. I think preflop is just a fold. That's, I think, my opinion there. I'm just, you know, sometimes a little bit too eager to set mine in spots where it's just bad. Because I don't think we're gonna get enough value the times when we hit. Yeah. This is, I think against Mato Tunneli, with the dynamic that we have right now, I'm gonna be 3-betting bluffs here a lot, and not 3-betting a hand like this. I think this is a pretty cool board to lead at, because this is a spot where he's not gonna see bet air all that much on, and I think it looks strong on this coordinated board to lead here. I think leading is pretty cool, because I don't really want to check call, I don't want to check fold. Well, I would check fold if I did check, but I wouldn't be super happy about it, because he would still have like a decent chunk of some, you know. I think on the river just have to fold. I have some 7s in my range, I have backdoor flushes in my range, I have 6s in my range, so it's just like I'm protected, well protected here when I fold. Yeah, there was something I was thinking about there. Yeah, in this hand, I don't think I would be too happy about check folding, because I still have the best hand, a decent amount. And I think a check call here is okay-ish, but maybe, I don't know. I would check call my strong hands here, so I guess, you know. But if he double barrels, it obviously sucks. Now I'm just gonna lead river, a small half pot is okay, you know. Just wrapping a king here, or ace-9 or something like that. Or, you know, queen-9, I guess. I could potentially lead queen-9 for value here, like this. I probably would, actually. Yeah, I think heads up, it's kind of, you know, you have to go 2 streets with second pair. And if you're not, then you just need to bluff more. I think that's kind of a rule of thumb in heads up. Top pair, 3 streets, second pair, 2 streets, and if you're not getting those, then you just need to bluff more. in order to start getting more value. Yeah, this is the kind of board where people pretty much either call or don't. If they have an ace, you know, if they have a flush draw, they're not folding. If they have an ace, they're not folding, you know. So your bet size here can be like, I wouldn't be super happy if I get check raised here. I think I would just fold, even though it's weak, obviously. But I did raise under the gun and then see bet 3/4 into this texture. So without specific dynamics, I would expect him to have a decent amount of ace-6, ace-8, 6-6, 8-8, 5-7 of hearts, 7-9 of hearts, you know, a6 of hearts, just like, you know, these combo draws. And I would expect his range to be fairly strong if he does check raise in that spot. So I would actually be pretty okay with folding. It's like, I would still have some hands. It's not like I'm folding my entire range, but I am making an exploitative fold if I do fold there, obviously, because this is just, you know, ace-king there is just a pretty big part of my range. And I can't be folding my value range all the time, unless I just expect someone never to bluff. Yeah, I think this is actually a pretty good spot for 3-betting, because he's gonna be, you know, ISOing this limper wide, but at the same time he might know that I know that, and then he could 4-bet, and, you know. Not whatever. Whatever. We have an okay hand. And this is like, I guess I'm just gonna, I don't know, it's just like, do you see a bet here? I mean, I'm gonna check. This is the problem. I think there are some turns. I think I'm okay with checking because I can turn like a diamond and stuff. And he checks back. I could potentially check here again, have him, I think, I don't know. I think I could just bet twice here now. I'm just gonna bet twice. Even though when I check flop, it looks kind of strong. I mean, not strong, but it looks like I often have showdown value. So when I check flop and then bet turn, it often looks like exactly my hand, like it's exactly a queen, you know, because I didn't, you know, see bet flop, so often medium hand, and then the turn comes a queen. So I don't know. I guess I could check here and hope to induce like a 2-street bluff, but I don't think he does, you know. If he has hearts, he's calling anyway. Okay, I guess I could induce like 2 streets from hearts, but backdoor hearts often see bet the flop themselves. I think raise get it in is kind of cool here, or I think, yeah. I think with these stacks it's okay to just go small raise and get it in, you know. Mostly because I protect my hand a lot, and, you know. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Yeah, that's queen. Great. Good for him. But I don't see myself, you know. I guess I could check call and fold in this particular turn. He does this, and he does this, and I think stacks are a little bit too deep to 4-bet get it in, so I'm gonna flat. Even though my flatting range kind of looks really strong when I, you know. I think if he 5-bets here, I don't know, it's gonna be pukey if he 5-bets here, you know, or 4-bets here, because, yeah, this is gonna be pukey now. Because my range is fairly strong, and I don't know if I expect him to do this light ever. This really sucks. But I don't know. I just don't know. I guess I'm gonna stick it in because I'm at the top of my range. I'm at the top of my flatting range. I'm gonna stick it in. I don't know. I think he can still be doing this with air. Well, he had air. Wow, this is good. Okay. Because, yeah, I think he might think that I have something like ace queen or, you know, ace jack, and if he 4-bets, I'll fold. So, and I'm kind of at the top of my range there with ace king, so. And he is capable of that kind of thought process of thinking, you know, I think you have like ace jack suited, ace queen potentially. Even though those hands I would just 4-bet fold, to be honest. I just don't love that spot out of position if I call there with those hands, you know. I don't expect him to 5-bet all that much, so I'm okay with 4-bet folding those hands, and if they do somehow call my 4-bet, I have an okay hand to continue with. Yeah, but yeah, I guess it's the shove, you know. I think it's a shove now, because he's one of the better players at this site, and of course in terms of balance, it's obviously not a fold. Then again, I don't know if you should really have a flatting range in that spot in general. If you should just, you know. But I just don't think, the problem is with, I just don't think I have enough dynamics. I think once I play more on this site, I'm going to have more 4-betting dynamics, and I'm going to be able to, you know, 4-bet get it in with ace-king there and expecting some light 5-bets. Because people are going to be aware that I'm capable of 4-bet bluffing a decent amount. So they're going to have, you know, they're going to have to adjust to that and 5-bet lighter, so I can start getting it in with those hands. I think I want to go fairly large here because I don't expect him to fold any ace here. And potentially he's going to call flush draws as well. I think he's calling flush draws here as well because he thinks he probably has pretty good implied odds when I bet this strong. If he does raise, it kind of sucks. I think I'm just going to go bet here and just fold to a raise on the river. Even though it's kind of pukey with the stacks. I don't expect him to ever ship here without a 7 when I take this line. It's just never going to be anything other than a 7 if he ships here. I think this river is a value bet. Pretty clear one, to be honest. Yeah, it's just a very easy bet fold, and it's just never going to be anything other than a 7 when I go that strong and that big in that spot. He doesn't expect me to fold ace-king there, or, you know, since this is actually an anonymous table, he doesn't expect the population to fold ace-king there. If he's a good reg, and if he's a fish, then he's just not gonna do, you know, he's just gonna call with his ace, and he's just gonna fold his missed draws, and yeah, I guess sometimes he might spaz jam a missed draw there, but, you know, I guess you might have to call it off there, maybe. I guess so. I don't know. Because he could raise this turn with a 7 some percentage of the time. You know, if he's the kind of player who... I'm getting this Canadian accent, some percentage of time, you know, it's time. A little bit of Canadian in there. Not really though, but... yeah. I think... It depends on how we expect him to play his range on the turn. If we expect him to raise the turn with a 7 already a lot or not, you know. I don't know. I guess it might have been better to go slightly smaller on the river and then call, because that allows him to actually jam his... The sizing I picked is a sizing where I feel like he's not gonna be bluffing over it, so I feel like even though the odds are gonna be really good, I don't feel like he's gonna be bluffing over that bet size. Versus if I make it smaller, it might actually be better there because he has kind of a lot of... There's still some missed gut shots. There were some missed gut shots there, and I would like to squeeze here, but this is a weaker player on the bottom because he has small stack. I don't really like calling here. I think I just fold. I think calling might be an option, but not a great one. And yeah, I think this has to be a raise. Obviously, like 220 here, 220ish, and I'm raise here, and yeah, this is once again these kind of spots where I don't know, it sucks. I have to fold. I would love to play this hand, but I don't think it's gonna play that well when I'm out of position against both of them. I did raise here, and we see this flop, and I think I can just check here against these weaker players and not expect too much problems later on. Definitely calling turn here when he bets that size, really when he bets most sizes, unless he just goes mad and just shoves. Now I'm very happy, obviously, with my hand, but you know, not sure there's a lot of value. I think I still bet here because I think I'll bet something smallish. 650 seems pretty good here. And yeah, I expect this guy not to bluff here on this river ever, so I wouldn't check here. But I expect him to call lightish. And with the presence of the missed hearts, I think this is just a mandatory bet on the river against these weaker players. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm gonna wrap this up soon, and then I'm gonna play some NL50 and get some footage from that, and hopefully be able to do some analysis later on. Some analysis of that. I'm gonna put these sit out signs now, so I'm gonna sit out when the big blind comes around. And yeah, I hope this has been interesting, and dogs barking out there. Yeah, it's yeah, I'm gonna play some NL20 and then make some videos, because that population I know a lot better, a lot of those players, and I just really know what I'm doing there, and I think I can provide some interesting insight. Though I know you guys don't play on this site, it's just no one plays here except Finns. But you know, the good thing is if I show this on like a forum on where there's American players mostly, so people aren't really, Finnish players aren't gonna get free reads on me, so on the way I approach these spots and the way I play. But then again, I'm not too worried, because I think I can still adjust and readjust, and you know, and come up with new strategies all the time. And I just, you know, it's not like I have this really set way of playing or thinking. It's like I just do a lot of theory work, or not work really, but I wouldn't really say that, but I read the forums a lot, and I think about poker a lot, and I think about spots a lot, and I think about ways to play creatively. I'm just gonna get this in. So it's not like my game is like completely defined or anything. So it's kind of dynamic. And this guy, 3 bets, this is just an easy fold with the history that we have of him being passive. So it's just gonna be a super easy fold. A lot. Yeah. Sitting out soon, most of these tables. Just gonna quit this one. Now you guys are gonna see my desktop, great. Have a bunch of games there, I guess, and yeah, nothing too special there. Some hands, I guess, and you know, bunch of software. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna wrap this up now. I'm just gonna quit. Okay. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I want to make some more videos, and hopefully this was at least somewhat interesting or entertaining or something like that. Okay. Bye bye everyone.